Alright, I don't know what happened to my phone. I hit a button or something or other. Gotta watch it. This four-wheeler, since I had it, I bought it brand new in 012. It's got 960 hours. Oh no, odometer, that's 960 miles. 140 hours, 139.6, 140 hours, and it's out of gas. I ran it out of gas, so it wasn't, because it sets a lot. I need to put a little bit in. I did crank it every day, but I got this off of it so I can change the pipe out. I got a newer model pipe, the 012. It said they had a lot of restrictions in it, so when I take it off of it, and I got an exhaust system here. It's actually, I'm about to make this work. It's come off, I went to a, this little buy, sell, and trade store down here, and they had this and another one exactly like it come off some kind of 400 Suzuki, and I'm gonna make it fit, and I hope it ain't too loud because I don't want it to be loud. I don't think it is gonna be. I put this on a motorcycle and it wasn't really loud. I don't want my four-wheeler to be loud. There's the alarm system I got in it. The guy put sensors on each one of the doors up there, and it's got a motion sensor in there, right there. But he had to play around with that because it's got to be big as a dog to set it off, which she's right there. That's my sidekick. These lights right here, I might have to get some new ones, but I'll probably just replace the bulbs in them and they'll probably be all right. But I got these from a church that was being tore down, and they had the lights sitting out there, and I stopped and picked them up for hardly nothing. I got it's an I-beam. Well, it's two pieces of channel line, and I welded that together, believe it or not, when I was about 13 years old. I welded that, spot welded it about every 6 inches apart, bottom and top, and this is 3-inch tubing, thick wall tubing come down and it meets to the floor. And I picked up this tractor, which is a tractor sitting right here. It's a 820 or 830 John Deere. I got it tore apart. The oil pump went out in it, so I tore it apart and I lost the damn clutch to it. But the motor is right there underneath that plastic. I rebuilt it. Don't ever want to rebuild a three-cylinder John Deere again. That was high. That was very expensive. That was about a little over $4,000 to rebuild that, and it took me a year and a half to get together all the money to do this and get the machine shop, do all the work to it. But it locked up, and of course he had to redo the crank, and they had to send resized rods and all that shit. They sent rods that was bigger and they resized them to the crank. But yeah, it comes together. The motor holds it together in the middle, and I lost the damn clutch for it. It's got 2 clutches. I got the clutch pack of you, and that thing weighs freaking 300 pounds. But you have to put this thing together in sections. I got this jacked up off the ground where it won't mess up my tires. I took one of the front tires off, put on my other tractor that I got. It's another John Deere too. There's a head for it right there. I'm pretty sure it's still in good shape, which it won't be nothing to clean up. But the shop here was built in 1990, I think, when we built this, and the only drawback to it is these doors. That's the only thing I hate about this shop. You got a door on this end and a door on that end, which Adam's covered in tin, and we done some graffiti all of it. That's my next door neighbor's girlfriend. We done an outline of her around it, and I pointed little boobs on it, you know me. But that was a pumpkin it was done for Halloween and a couple other little things. It's kind of crazy. People got shit drew all over the shop. Evidently, you can get head for $2. There's a battery charger. That thing, man, it's been best thing I've had. Right here's a bunch of pulleys. I went to a yard sale and bought a bunch of pulleys. This was the pulley axle. I got a bunch of stuff at a yard sale. A bunch of other little different pulleys. And this is in oil. It was all corroded up. That's been soaking in oil. That's a burn punching kit. It's a bunch of shit in there. Another little pullers. A little 3 puller, little 2 puller. I buy shit like it when I see it. There's another one. Another 2-way pulley. This one looks handmade. No, maybe not. But I buy stuff like it. My uncle, his son sold me that toolbox. I have plumb full of tools, and they old tools. They really ain't worth a whole lot, but some of them's Craftsman, some of them's Snap-on. I made that little area right there a while back. But getting back to the doors, these doors are 12 foot wide, because there's 6 on this piece of plywood, 6 on that, and so it's 12, and they're 11 foot 6 inches tall. So you can get, because we had a big tractor when we built this shop. We had a bunch of tractors, but we had one that would, the muffler just would fit up underneath that door. But Daddy, we didn't have the lift at the time. Daddy, I got a tire rack over there, built that, and welding table, built that. Another welding table here was round. I get off the subject on shit, but this this round piece of metal here was one of those big tanks, 1,000-gallon tanks. And I got that piece of metal. It was already stamped out and everything. I made a table out of it, a welding table or whatever table. I'll probably give it away to somebody. But that's the rest of my uncle's toolbox that I got. I really need to just give it away to somebody. There's a head off of this 2.2 motor that I got to go through and change the head out. This is the one. This bottom end here was a bottom end for a newer model motor 2010. I'm gonna change out this head, well, a head from my 07, 08 over to this block. They said it fit, and put that back in the 07 Cobalt. That's a right nice jack, a lift right there. If you can see it from the light, looks dim, but that's an electric lift. You just hit the switch. I got that from a buddy of mine for a good deal. Everything I have to get for a good deal. I bought that at Harbor Freight. One of the thing's bullshit. The hand things run out of it. The glass where you sandblast in that, it messes up the glass. Well, I put that little stick-on tin up underneath it, and you're supposed to pull it off, change it out, and the glass is clean again from inside. But it don't work worth a damn. You need a vac system on it, which I got a little vac system on it, but it ain't enough to suck the dust out. And it'll run a hell out of an air compressor. And my old air compressor, which is directly behind the wall from that on the outside, up built up underneath the little shed, it gave out, but it was a 40-year-old air compressor, and I got a newer air compressor bought for like $300, and had to end up putting a motor on it because it had a 3-phase motor. But I accumulate some shit. That right there, that came off my uncle's toolbox, and that on my drill press right there, that little vise right there come from that. His name is helmet on top of that. I need to get it back in the house. I got a bandsaw sitting over in the vise, so I can cut shit on it upside down. But these doors, getting back to the doors, I want to take and make them out of metal and put metal on the outside of them, and maybe put some kind of if I make it out of tube, and it's out of tube before, it's now rough cut lumber. Everything in here is rough cut lumber. This whole building was built with rough cut lumber. It don't look like it's got, we found a deal on this plywood from Builder's Discount because it had them marks on it. If you look, every piece of that plywood that was used on these walls has got a mark on it. And we got that for a discount, so we bought that, a whole truckload of it. I say maybe 50 sheets of it or something. It was so heavy the truck wouldn't pull it. We went down the road a little bit and the damn bumper was dragging. When you hit a little bump, and we called a buddy of ours and he come over there. And this was so long ago we had to stop at a payphone and call him and get him to come to Burlington, and he got half the load and we got the other half. But anyways, it was like it. But this is my, if I can keep from hitting these buttons, here's my hot rod stuff. That's my Demon carburetor. Little 2-barrel carburetor for a brand new though. I got that from a buddy, the same buddy that I got that stuff from, of y'all that get stuff in at the junkyard, which it works. Nothing wrong with it. MSD distributor and cam back there that really probably won't ever be any more set of lifters there that goes with that cam, but instead of push rods to go with that cam crane. I don't know why that go-kart clutch is there, but a coil and an oil accumulator. That thing's pretty cool. You take, that's a step box there for your MSD if you to retard it 2 or 5, I think it's 2 or 5 degrees to retard it so it'll crank easier. Then when it starts up, it goes back to 0 or whatever you got it set at. Anyways, it retards it. A fuel regulator. A set of coil springs. What was I talking about? Oh, that oil accumulator. That oil accumulator there, it's pretty cool because when you hook that up in your system, run a line to it, you crank your motor up and you let it charge, and it's got a little gauge on it. You let it charge. Well, you let it charge up to your oil pressure. Say your oil pressure is 40 or 60 pounds. You let that accumulate oil up in there, and then, well, it kind of circulates through the whole system through that too. But once that builds up pressure, you cut the valve off, and then it holds that amount of oil pressure in it. So when you cut the car off, it don't matter if you go out there a week, a day, a month, a year, 20 years. You hit that valve, it releases 60 or 40, 30 pounds of oil back through your motor system, so it pre-lubes it. That's pretty cool. That's going on in a drag car. There's so much shit down there. The fuel pump. That starter down there, so better starter than you think it is. It looks like just a regular stock starter, but I think a stock starter is like 2 or 3 horsepower. That one's 4, 4.5, something like that. It's just old junk over here that I haven't cleaned up yet. There's the other 2.2 engine that I'm robbing the head off of, going through getting the machine shop to redo that. I need to hurry up because I need to get the house because it's near about New Year's. That's my Dale Earnhardt stuff, all my Chevy stuff. There's a Chevy cut out of wood and it's set off from the wall about a 1/2 inch. That's my picture of Emma Luke. Drew me of a 4-wheel drive truck a while back. But I'm gonna shut everything down. And me and the dogs will go in the house. If I can get this damn thing to shut off. Okay. Put my glasses on because I can't see shit.
Exams in 3 hours.
Oh crap, all we've done is work out.
We should study.
Right.
Peter, you're not wearing your costume anymore.
What's the point? You know, I thought I could help people with this whole A-team thing, but...
Yeah, shut that down. But I gotta clean up the rest of this shit. I hadn't been out here God knows how long. It's powerful everything. Another Holley carburetor that cut the thing off of it because it wouldn't breathe enough with the choke and all that shit on it. And so we cut that off. Breathes a little bit. There's another Holley carburetor. I think that's 600. Gotta go through it. Couple Z50. Another distributor. Just that shit. That I got that from a buddy of mine, and then got this from another buddy of mine, and it actually did come off this motor. This one's stock, but it's not really stock. It's got a cam and all that in it, but they call it stock class. Yeah, I gotta clean up this shit. That's where I got my Schofield headers from. They wrap over the fender well. That's my helmet I got custom painted a long time ago, which ain't no damn count anymore. Inside of it still about fell out of it. But I'm getting ready to go in the house. It's gonna be New Year's here in just a little bit. And my wife and everything wants to celebrate New Year's. And I ain't got no switch on it, so I unplugged my little junkyard fan. Everything's junkyard in here. Few of the equipment I bought was pretty nice, like the lift, which I paid too much for that. Got a friend to buy it because he had an eBay account. I didn't have a computer or eBay or nothing like that. And he bought the lift with the piece of metal at the bottom, which I did not want, but he bought it because this one was cheaper. He took my $2,200 and bought a $1,500 lift, and he kept the rest of it. Well, my ingenious way of doing it is taking a piece of channel line and running it from the beam up there in the shop, attaching the deck coming down to the top of the lift and welding that to that so it'll hold the stress of a car. If these things want to bow in, which the other ones has got a thing across it, but yeah, that was my solution to that. But hopefully I can get another lift one of these days. I'll sell this one and put the money off of this one into another one. I just rebuilt the cylinders. I rebuilt this one twice and just rebuilt, no, I rebuilt this one twice, that one once. Got new seals for it, rebuilt them, and then I'm damned if I didn't come out and one of the cables fell off of it, and I had to retension the cables. I don't know how in the hell that got loose, but it did. I don't know whether through time it just loosened off, and you just tighten them with your finger, and they pretty tight, but yeah, they, believe it or not, they pretty tight. But yeah, we're getting ready to go in the house. I got my Outlaws and some good tires. That thing is like a mountain goat. Went from them stock tires on it to this thing. It's like a mountain goat. It'll sit up on the end of anything. Look, Nova. What are you looking at? Got cobwebs all over your face. What you been into? What you been into with all them cobwebs on you? Sit down. Sit down. Now you speak. You speak. That's right. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, 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 pew. All right, calm down. And that's the parts washer. Getting ready to go out. That needs reattaching. I put a breaker, and I only put one bolt back in it. Emma made me that keychain holder. She made that back in 2nd grade, I think. And it's a keychain holder. It's got a couple locks on it. But I need to put I do hang my keys on this one when I come in most times. But that's my junky ass rack, which I told you I hadn't been out here in a while. Bird done made a bird nest right there. So I'll leave Mr. Bird alone. If he wants to be happy, and I'll be happy. And that's the best chainsaw that money can buy. That Farm Boss Steel 029. Best chainsaw ever made. Worst chainsaw ever made. McCulloch. It's got a long ball on it, and you can cut some long shit with it, but sorry sack of shit. Good. I mean, I've run all kinds. I've run the Husqvarnas and everything, and Saxdomas and all them red, whatever the hell that thing's called, and still the way to go. I got a weed eater. I ain't never even had to do 1 minute thing to it, but change the fuel line, which I did. This one sent me to the hospital. A piece of wire flew out from up underneath where the chain goes through. A piece of wire, which I was cutting wood barefooted like an idiot, and it went in, a piece of wire come off of it, and it went into the top of my foot, and then blood started squirting out. I don't know why I was cutting barefooted, but I think a storm came through and knocked the tree down. I had to cut the tree out of the way or something like that. But yeah, I got a little diesel sign a buddy of mine found on the side of the road, I think. Maybe, no, Coleman got that from his business. Amy's been buying me these things throughout the year. I got a Dale Earnhardt, a buddy of mine, give me that. Another one, give me that one, which that don't mean a lot. It ain't Earnhardt, but yeah, that's what we've been cleaning up for the last 5, 6, 7 days, cleaning this up so we can start working on Amy's car. Now, I have been working on amps too, but that's a little at a time, and the video is going to be later down the road because this is shot on my phone, not on the video camera. But this, I can, as soon as I get done with the video, I can just shoot it straight to YouTube. My video camera, I can't do that. But this is the shop tour. That's what you get. The only thing I really spent any money on, like I told you, a friend of mine got this from a junkyard, got the transmission jack from a junkyard, and that I bought. The tire machine I bought. The tire changer I bought. The balancing changer I bought, which I got a good deal on them. I got them in a package deal for, I think, $1,200, and that's a Ranger. What gets me? Eagle's just right over here in Greensboro, and I bought the welder. Eagle is right over here in Greensboro, and I got a package deal with a Ranger. Believe it or not, and Eagle already makes things. I don't know whether they make it and rebadge it or something. I don't know, but yep. I had next day or two. That's pretty much all of Amy's parts for the Denali, and I gotta put this radiator on my truck because I got a little leak in it some damn where. I don't know. Got a bunch of muffler pipe down there saved from cleaning up the shop as a rim off a Tahoe. I gotta get her stuff back together. That's a fender well and the Y pipe, drive shaft, the center section, the valve cover with the coils on it. Yeah, I gotta get her stuff going first, and then I gotta get the cobalt going, and hopefully I'll be done in here for a little bit. But I gotta get that done because we down to one vehicle, nothing to drive, nothing but the truck. When she's gone on the truck, I'm here at the house. So, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But I got the parts, most of the parts sitting there, the rest of them sitting in the house, but I hadn't brought them out here, but most of the parts sitting right there for it. And that's just what I've been doing. I need to put this back together and clean this up, but I wanted to change the exhaust out on it, but I never did get to it. Amp stuff come before this, and I was trying to spread them out, but hell, this thing ain't never been in mud over top of the center of that cap. I just never did take it mudding. I don't know why I took these plugs out, but I bought a bunch of them. I bought a kit off of Facebook, believe it or not, and it's got every one of these little punch plugs. Some of them you screw, some of them, you know, someone's got a plastic screw, some of them you just push in with your thumb. And it came with a few tools. Look, that's how she's been getting in the, I need to get the cat out here. She'll clean up all the cobwebs. She'll put every damn thing in here, but I don't like having her in here because it might be some, which it shouldn't be. The only antifreeze I got is up on that, it's in that bucket there, come out the Denali. So it's up high enough she can't get in it. Other than that, it ain't no chemicals for to hurt her that I know of. There's a pipe for Hannah's little car. I need to get that up and get that out of the way, get everything situated in here. Some of the parts for her car are still on here, and I bag them up. As what? I put my glasses on. Harmonic balancer bolts. I bag everything up. Hood bolts. I bag everything up. And they all sitting on that rack, and then the starter and all kinds of shit sitting on here. But yeah, try to do the best I can with what I got. Ain't nothing but junk, but my junk. Alright then, y'all have a good day, and I hope y'all have a better damn year than this one's been. A better damn year than this one. Alright, y'all have a good day. I'm going to set this along. And Trump 2020. Alright then, number 3 in the Carolinas. Later.